Hi, I'm Michael Fridjhon, and I've been the South African judge at this competition since its inception in 2003. I've always believed that the competition is important for South Africa because it's enabled us as a wine-producing country to calibrate against other important players in the international market. I don't see that necessarily as a kind of competitive advantage or disadvantage. I see it as an essential part of understanding our place in the world of wine and how we line up, drawn alongside the other players who also have a significant role to play, not only in the European markets, where obviously everybody rushed in the past, but increasingly as we look towards the Asian markets, and we need to understand where we might find a point of difference for ourselves. As a country, I think South Africa has made enormous progress as a wine producer and in terms of its technology, its global competitiveness, and its marketing skills since this competition began. And so, in a sense, we look forward one day to perhaps winning it. But equally, we know that a good performance here enables producers to take those wines to other markets and express their virtues in a way that may not necessarily have been evident to the producer or to the consumer 10 years ago. Over the same period of time, and because I suppose South Africa itself has been changing and the world market has made a much greater impact on domestic wine styles than would have been the case in the era of isolation, we see, for example, that Pinotage, instead of being tough, inaccessible, and made for vinous masochists, has been converted into something softer, more accessible, but not necessarily simpler. We do, of course, see the fruit bombs. We see the wines where the producer has understood that Pinotage does have an enormous deliverability in terms of texture and fruit, and they've exploited that to the full. But certainly in the last 3 to 5 years, we've seen some really fine Pinotages being produced. Likewise, Chenin Blanc, which is, for the South African producer, more or less the vinous equivalent. We have got thousands of hectares of old Chenin Blanc vineyard, and instead of treating it as a kind of a workhorse for every winery, those who understand how to work with the grape and do have old vines as a resource have been able to go out and make wines that certainly rival the best of the Loire Valley in France. It is, of course, easier to predict who is going to win the Five Nations Challenge than to predict who is going to win the Rugby World Cup. But we think that our secret weapon is that no one, including the coach, knows what team will finally appear on the day. And with some chance of fooling everyone, we're hoping to repeat our previous successes and embarrass the Kiwis yet again.